There's been no shortage of cringe promotional material for Amazon's Lord of the Rings of Power series, and the Access Media for the past 6 months has been doing everything they can to defend Amazon, to defend them against the fan backlash from the Tolkien fans, the Lord of the Rings fans, who are rightly pointing at this from Amazon, listening to what the cast has said, listening to what the crew has said, looking at the trailers that have been put out and realizing this has nothing to do with Tolkien. This is not Lord of the Rings. This is not Middle-earth. This is an abomination and goes completely against so much of what Tolkien wrote about his world. But now they're only a few hours away from it actually premiering on Prime Video. This may be one of the most cringe articles we've seen yet because, of course, it's all about female empowerment and diversity and inclusion. And you don't know what Tolkien would have wanted. We, us stunning and brave ladies of Rings of Power, we know what Tolkien wanted. The ladies of the Rings. As we return to Middle-earth with Lord of the Rings, Inverse gathered 5 of the show's female stars to talk representation, secrecy, and Sauron. Oh, can't wait to talk about Sauron. I bet you just want to save him, right? You just want to save him. You can change him, just like we saw from those super fans. This is ridiculous, and it spawned a couple articles specifically about Morfydd Clark, Galadriel, because she says that, his world is just so complex. Tolkien's world is so complex. For anybody to say that this isn't what he would have wanted, they're kidding themselves. That's not reality. Look at this tweet right here, this quote. Tolkien was a really complex person who wrote a really complex world. So deep of you, Morfydd Clark. And this idea that anyone could know exactly what he would have wanted or what he would have liked is, I feel, nonsense. First of all, let's look back at all the times that people associated with Amazon have said that. Tolkien would love what we've done with this. Tolkien would completely approve of what we've done. That kind of goes against all the people at Amazon and what they're saying. But also, in reality, yes, we do know what Tolkien would approve of, what he'd be okay with, because in detail, in this complex world, he laid out so much shit. That's how we know that hobbits, even Harfoots, did not exist in the Second Age, yet you put them in this series. We know what Galadriel did and didn't do, and you're having her do things that she didn't do. But more of this gets laid out in this ridiculous article. We have to take a look at it, the Ladies of the Rings. Unlike its cinematic predecessors, this foray into Tolkien's world features a broader, more diverse cast with a more even balance between male and female leads. In New Zealand, Clark found not only a leading role, but something of a sisterhood. This is how they're marketing this, right? This is how they want to go out there and market it, because this has nothing to do with Tolkien. All they can talk about is all the other ancillary shit. The things that don't have anything to do with Lord of the Rings, the things that don't have anything to do with Middle-earth, anything to do with Tolkien, because they have to virtue signal, they have to fucking pander. I just realized the 5 of us sitting here all represent various worlds, says actress Nazanin Boniandi, who plays the human healer and brand new character named Bronwyn, and we're all crucial to those worlds. Sitting with Boniandi and Clark are Cynthia Day Robinson, who plays Númenórean Queen Regent Miriel, the only other character of this crew created by Tolkien. Keep that in mind. So of the 5 people here, only Galadriel and Miriel are actually Tolkien characters. The rest are invented for this series. The rest are made up. They even admit it straight up in this article. Like the Eleanor Nori Brandyfoot, member of the nomadic proto-hobbits known as Harfoots. They were hobbits. Like Tolkien lays this out specifically. The 3 types of hobbits. Not precursors to not any of that stuff. 3 types of hobbits. They did not exist until the Third Age. But Amazon does what they want. Amazon does whatever the fuck they want and tries to spin it off as something that Tolkien would have been okay with. And of course, Sophia Namvet, Dwarven Princess Disa, the first female dwarf brought to life in a Tolkien adaptation. But oh, they added something now. Remember for fucking months when Sophia Namvet kept saying this time after time, I'm the first female dwarf. I'm the first black female dwarf in Tolkien. Remember that? And then people had to point out, no, they've actually done this shit before. Even in the Hobbit movies, there are female dwarves. Well, now they have to add this addendum. Beyond brief asides in The Two Towers and a background character in the Hobbit movies, they all find themselves at the precipice of a massive moment. We cannot read this entire thing. It's fucking horrendous to get through, but I do want to point out a couple moments. One, what the fuck are you having her wearing? The idea that you're trying to put this out here is cringe and ridiculous. Are you going to get some body positive folks out that are like, you go girl, I'm sure you are, let it all hang out? vast majority of people may have wanted to choose something different for Sophia Namvet, who is completely unapologetic. And of course, what does she say again? There is a real imbalance, and I'm really excited to be part of this redress of the balance that is absolutely necessary. Once again, all she's talking about is diversity and female empowerment. Look at me. We're changing the game. We're changing Tolkien. We're changing the lore, but it's necessary to do so. What else? Tolkien's world is massively about vibes. Is this really what we're doing? CW, I heard Gary say in his review that CW is an accurate representation of this. This is CW bullshit. Morford Clark, Tolkien's world is massively about vibes, man. Like, I love Tolkien. I'm just such a big Tolkien fan, and he really has a vibe about him. He really writes in the non-binary. What the fuck are you talking about? This is what she's saying. Tolkien's world, let's see, Tolkien's world is very much of its own, never felt macho. It feels really natural that what you're going to be about to explore, the weaving roads he wrote for us. He wrote for us? You're making this up. You're making it up. You've already admitted that. Multiple people have admitted this is not Tolkien. You are making this up. That there would be women and they'd be highly regarded as Galadriel. That's what's so special about Tolkien is he wrote outside the binary. Tolkien's world is massively about vibes. The same person who admitted that they had no idea what the Silmarillion was is now saying I'm a massive Tolkien fan. The same person who said they have no idea like what Galadriel did, who type of person she is saying this is really Tolkien's world. This is crazy. The women on the show have such agency. This might be my favorite headline. Their hunger will be satisfied. Listen, maybe you should have put this little headline, this little quote. Maybe you should have put that for Sophia Namvet. I think it might have fit a little bit better. I'm just saying. It just keeps going and going and going when it comes to Rings of Power. And now they have the audacity to try to say, no one could know what Tolkien would have wanted. What about Christopher? What about Christopher? Because they waited until he died to do this. You knew they waited till he died to do this because he would have spoken out about this. He blasted the Peter Jackson movies. And those, what we're seeing with those, the different things, the differences in those, it's not even going to compare to what they're about to do with Lord of the Rings of Power on Amazon. They keep lying and they keep promoting it through diversity and female empowerment. This is going to be a fucking nightmare, a disaster. It's going to get ratioed to hell. It's going to get destroyed when people actually see for themselves that the fans, the Lord of the Rings fans, the Tolkien fans, the defenders, they have been right all along, and Amazon has been trying to lie to them. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.